video is going to explore and teach you, as parents, about the different elements that are involved in the CSE process.
We will highlight the aspects of goals, IEP components, and what will be explored in the CSE meeting.
We will now lead you through a hypothetical case that will allow you to gain more knowledge and become more aware of all the different components.
Our case is about a 7-year-old boy named Kyle. He is in 2nd grade and is diagnosed with autism.
Kyle struggles with his own ability to slow down and make good decisions at an appropriate speed. Kyle has difficulty in safety and body awareness in undirected situations. After talking with Kyle's parents, they have observed that he has difficulty having a conversation when it isn't about a topic he is interested in. They also observed that he only likes to eat and drink certain things. Kyle's teacher has observed that he is distracted by the environment around him and becomes overwhelmed.
One component of the IEP is annual goals. The first annual goal for Kyle is that he will improve his use of social communication skills with his peers and adults. Kyle's second annual goal is to improve sensory registration or improve attention during classroom lessons.
Another component of the IEP is special education and related services. In the case of Kyle, he has a one-on-one aide, attends physical therapy, and receives speech-language pathology services.
Participation with non-disabled children is another component of the IEP. Kyle is able to be in a regular education classroom as long as he has his one-on-one aide. Kyle has no restrictions with his non-disabled peers. Another component of the IEP is participation in state and district-wide tests. When taking a test, Kyle is capable of taking it alone. He just needs an aide to keep him focused and on task. Testing and program modification is a component as well. The modification that Kyle receives is having the directions read to him additional 2 times.
Services for Kyle will begin on the first day of the next marking period. Kyle will be provided with an aide for each day he attends school and for testing. The IEP also includes transition services. Transition services are not included in Kyle's IEP because of his young age. These services are implemented in the IEP when the child is of an older age to help prepare them for post-secondary life. It is important for the IEP to state how the annual goals will be measured. Kyle's first goal, involving improving his communication skills, will be measured by observing and assessing the situations that Kyle is in over time. His second goal of improving sensory registration or improved attention in the classroom will be measured through charting, observation, and data collection.
The IEP, which is an individual education plan that is unique to each student. The IEP is created from an IEP team that is organized to discuss the academic, functional strengths and needs of a student.
The information collected from the meeting will be used to create a plan that will facilitate the greatest success for your child.
The team will also discuss services that are necessary to help your child reach their goals, make progress in curriculum, and participate in extracurricular and non-academic activities.
During the meeting, the members will review your child's eligibility from all relevant information and assessments.
Your child's student profile will also be examined. This profile includes your child's strengths, testing results, progress on goals, as well as any concerns that you have as parents.
Other special factors may be looked at, such as behaviors that impede learning, language or communication needs, and any physical needs. The needs identified by the team will be written into measurable and observable annual goals. Each goal will specifically describe the skill your child will be expected to learn over a 12-month period.
After reading your child's goals, you should be able to visualize the skill or behavior your child will achieve and know when the goal is accomplished.
If your child's goals seem unclear, or if there is something you do not understand, don't hesitate to ask to have it explained. It is important that you understand these goals.
For each goal, the IEP team members will decide if any assistive technology or devices will be needed to help your child.
The team will also determine if any additional services will be required to help your child reach their goals.
The IEP will also be specific in regards to when and where these services will be provided.
The least restrictive environment is a law that states that to the greatest extent possible, students with disabilities will be educated with non-disabled students. Your child's IEP must explain why your student will not be educated with their non-disabled peers at any point in time.
Once your student's IEP is written, it will be filed for 12 months. Although the IEP process is complicated and involves a variety of steps and input from numerous people, it will result in an appropriate education for your child.
This video will walk you through the different team members that will be working through the CSE process.
According to the law, every child who receives special education services must have a written IEP. How that IEP is created is the responsibility of an IEP team. The purpose of the team is to design an education program that meets your child's individual needs. So who makes up the IEP team, and what are their roles? First, let's meet the required members of the team. You, the parent, are an essential member of the IEP team because you know your child better than anyone and are an expert on your child's background, strengths, and needs. The law requires that all students, including those with disabilities, have access to the general education curriculum, so at least one regular education teacher is needed on the team. Also needed on the team is a special education teacher who understands disabilities and specialized instruction, and it's important to know that each of your child's teachers must be highly qualified to teach your child. Another required team member is a local school district representative who will supervise your child's special education program, is familiar with resources available in your school district, and can authorize their use. The IEP team also must include a member who understands and can explain evaluation results, often the school psychologist or other qualified staff member. No matter how old your child is, it's a good idea to include them, whenever appropriate, in the IEP meeting. The student is an important member of the team and knows their own preferences, interests, and experiences. In fact, the federal law requires that the student must be invited to the IEP meeting when transition to adulthood issues will be discussed. Who else can participate in the IEP meeting? Others who know your child or have special expertise in areas related to your child's needs may be invited to the meeting by you or someone at your child's school. For instance, you as the parent may want to invite a private therapist, a care provider, a family friend, or someone who can provide you with assistance or support. The school district might invite an expert in reading, behavior, or some other area. In some cases, with the parent's written permission, a team member may be excused from attending the meeting and have their information submitted in writing. When necessary, a team member may take on more than one role, but only if they are qualified to do so. IEPs are usually written to cover a 12-month period. However, you or your child's teachers can request an additional IEP meeting at any time during the year to discuss concerns or changes that need to be made to your child's educational program. Most IEP meetings will be held in your child's school. The team can also meet in other locations, such as a more conveniently located school in your district, a community setting like a library, or even in your home. When parents can't be there in person, IDEA and state law make it possible for parents to participate in alternate ways, such as video and audio conference calls. Remember that you are an equal and critical member of the IEP team. As an equal member, you must be prepared to participate effectively during the meeting. But before you get ready to participate in the meeting, you must know what's included in an IEP. That's what we'll talk about next in Chapter 3, What's Included in the IEP.
As a parent of a child with an IEP, there are rights and responsibilities that you have. The law states that you must be included in all decisions regarding the special education needs of your child.
The Family Education Rights and Privacy Act, known as FERPA, states the rights in regards to your child's education records. As the parent, you have the right to inspect and review your child's education records that are maintained by the school.
Being involved in the education of your child is very crucial. Students whose families invest time and energy in their education tend to be more successful.
As a parent, you should not be afraid to ask questions. As the parent of your child, you are the one that has the greatest interest in your child's success. It is necessary that you understand each aspect of their education.
The next few slides will introduce to you the different acronyms and what they stand for that you will come into contact with during the IEP and special education process.
Parents, it is important that you become familiar with the process. Ask questions whenever you feel the need. Once you become more familiar with the process, you will start to feel more comfortable with what is taking place. At this point, you will be able to help your child succeed.
The school counselor should be your friend. Don't be afraid to contact the counselor at any point. The school counselor will gladly meet with you to address any of the concerns that you have.
Finding a support network with parents who are going through the same experience as you will also provide help. There are many different resources online that will provide support and help.
This video clip will provide you, as parents, some helpful tips and information.
Fear, of course, on the side of the parent, because first of all, you don't feel comfortable that you have enough information. You always want more information, no matter how much you know. I think that every parent can feel somewhat comforted that they know more about their child than the people in the school generally. And your child's teacher may know a little bit more about where they're at academically, or the therapist may know exactly what your child's working on. But as a parent, you know how that impacts your child, what they're able to do and not able to do at home, which really informs us, and it gives us a leg up to really become part of the conversation. And you know, it's written in the law that the parent should, and the child as the child gets older, but the parent significantly from the beginning is part of that IEP team. And one of the problems I find is most parents don't feel like they're part of that team, or it really is a team. But this is one of the ways that we really make